Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Liger once again with another video. All right, so I'm doing these for fun, okay, and to see what gamers really are talking about. So don't take it as full grievances. Again, there are Nintendo fans that are crazy. There are Nintendo fans that, well, let things slide, and I get it. So this video right here, Nintendo fan begs for people to accept this $80 game. So we're gonna see his premise. He said people don't understand inflation. The inflation argument is wrong. I beg to differ, but whatever. I have another video on the channel I just recently did. If I put this up later, whatever, of a guy doing the argument of the inflation, and I was at first I thought he was wrong, but then he agreed with what I was thinking what it was, and it was like then what's the argument? It's like and I just stopped the video once again, kind of like the penguin video when it got to a point it got too boring. So let's see if this guy is not boring, and see if he puts up valid arguments. Now, again, for people who are new to the channel, because again, a lot of people have been subscribing lately. My stance and ultimate stance will be, and will be, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Be a customer, not a consumer. If you see the game's worth $80, you buy it. If you don't think it's worth $80, don't buy it. It's not that hard. It's not like this what could I call it? It's not this analytical, scientifical astrophysics equation. It's an easy yes or no. That's all. People like, well, why are you buying the game, Liger? Because it looks fun, and I have enjoyed playing all Mario games. So it's one of those things where it looked like it might not be that, but once I touch it and play, and that's the magic that Nintendo does have compared to other games, other companies. Now, once I get it, it's like, oh, it's super fun. So that's what I'm going with. I put hours into Mario Kart Deluxe. I put hours into Mario Kart 7. I put hours into, excuse me, and it's the biggest franchise ever. So we're out there selling. So hey, but that's my reason why I'm buying it. You think it's too expensive? Don't buy it. That's it. I'm not gonna degrade you. I'm not gonna say you're cheap. I'm not gonna say you're poor. I'm not gonna say none of that stuff because I'm not in your wallet just as you're not in mine. So yeah. Anyway, let's see what this person have to say and see if this makes any sense.
I just got back from Easter break, and I hope that all of you had a very happy Easter. And if you don't celebrate it, I hope you had a happy Sunday. And if not, well, I hope this video can make your day a little bit better. Although, if I'm being honest, it's probably going to make it worse. Not because I'm a bad creator, because today we are once again going to be talking about how Mario Kart World costs $80. And more specifically, we're going to be looking at somebody defending it using the...
Okay, so here we go again. That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is why I said that. If they're going to make content on it and they're making stuff, I'll make content too. I don't do this for money. So it's kind of like keeping my brain going and see, to see people's argument. And if it's logical thinking, I agree. If it ain't, it ain't. But again, my ultimate argument is this, and everything else is kind of like leads up to it, but it's like still that. But let's see. He says he's gonna make. Is this Nintendo fanboy, as you call him, make some stupid arguments? We'll see. And I'll say, hey, that's a dumb.
Common inflation argument, and.
No, but I bet y'all are thinking inflation another way that's messed up. I bet you, but I digress.
Let's just say this video didn't end up convincing people.
That don't mean jack squat. See, this is why you are YouTubers and y'all in your own bubble. That don't mean jack squat. People maybe thumbs down the video because they don't like the person. I thumbs down video if it's a video talk about stuff that makes no sense, then I thumbs it out. I don't thumbs down stuff. Like I said, I told Trip a while ago. Was it Zenkai Goose? He did a video about Need for Speed, and I'm not subscribed to him. I've used his video. I use his videos twice, and I've also used his intro as the video intro of Generation N. That's where I got it from. Not stealing it. And people say, "Oh, you steal." It's there. I'm not making money off of this. He gets the credit for it, of course. All right. Anyway, but he did a video about that, and I'm gonna do a video about that as well too, because I saw his grievances and arguments, and like, you know what? Yeah, I don't agree with everything he said in that Need for Speed video, but I was like, wow, yeah, I understand it. That's the whole difference. Can I understand what your argument is to be like, you know what, I don't get it, but I see where you're coming from. I could respect that. Let's see what that is. But this right here doesn't mean that you like it. And I gave him a thumbs up on that video. I don't think I have a thumbs down his videos yet. But it's the video itself. But anyway, let's go.
And having watched the video for myself, I can understand why the people weren't convinced. I mean, hell, I'm one of the people who wasn't convinced. I'm gonna be honest, I can't think of a way to actually transition this into the video itself. So this is the transition, hooray. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this and find out why $80 is actually perfectly fine for games.
Guys, I think I've reached my breaking point. Like, I am sick of the Nintendo slander and the Nintendo hate. Saying that this is a failed unveiling, this is a failed reveal, this is so disappointing, it sucks, the system's terrible, Nintendo is going to follow up a super successful system and era with a stumble and a horribly...
And if they do, they do. Bruh, I'm going to tell you that. If they do, they do. And it's not really, to me, it's not going to be Nintendo's fault. Half of it's going to be because gamers are just entitled pricks most of the time. Majority of them, including the YouTubers, people. I have a video, I did a video with this other guy who was like, oh, the Nintendo Switch 2 was not made for gamers. I'm like, what? Wait, what? It was made for investors. It was made for YouTube people like people like this. It was made for investors, YouTube people, and developers. Okay. I agree with some of the things the guy said, but most the major stuff I did in that video, you'll see it as well too. But it's just weird.
Unsuccessful era, it's freaking bonkers. And look, I wish we were paying less. You always want to pay less. I wish the games cost less. Don't get me wrong, but I gained some perspective tonight that I think might actually help you out.
Well,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't really. You could gain perspective. I gain perspective, but we should. But let's what you say, sir.
Given the U.S. inflation calculator you have up on your screen right now, I think I can take a pretty good guess as to what that perspective is. But dude, right out the gate saying that he's sick of people being mad at Nintendo. He's sick of the Nintendo hate. I bet what happened is this guy was pissed about $80 games as well, but he didn't like that everybody was against it and that everybody was universally hating on it, to the point where he has desperately tried to justify it for himself, which has led him to the classic inflation calculator. I mean, for God's sakes, his name is Switch Force. Of course he was gonna defend this. My thing is though,
okay, I'm Nintendo. Sir, like I said, I ain't defend nothing except to make logical reasons. But again, we ain't putting on this. Let me keep on going because it's a long ass video, and I'm at work, so sometimes I don't know if we'll get all of this through or not.
You don't have to. You can be excited for the game and think it looks great without defending the $80 price tag. I won't give people crap for saying that Mario Kart World looks good. Hell, I'm one of the people who thinks it looks good. But you will never catch me trying to justify $80 for the base version of a digital game. So by all means, go ahead.
Whoa. The base version of a digital and physical game. Don't take the physical part out of it. That's why, that's kind of crazy. But let's be accurate. Say, if you're going to be saying, I agree with you. I started gaming because it's fun, and that's what it is. I'm justifying only going to be that. Again, I don't justify that it should be $80. I'm saying y'all didn't do jack squat, and I guarantee you are one of those people that jack squat about when in 2012, when the game became the way it was coming. And I bet if I go back in other videos, you didn't say certain things, so please.
Buy the game, enjoy it. If you think it's worth the $80, go ahead. But don't jump to the defense of a billion-dollar corporation that doesn't even know you exist.
I hope this perspective does give you a bit of solace, a bit of calm, a bit of peace of mind about what Nintendo's doing here, because in my...
No. Okay, I agree with that part. Switch Force. No, dude, no. You see, that's where you attacked it the wrong way. That's the problem. solemn oof. No, 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 no. Don't do that, man. That sounds groveling. No. Just say, hey, it's $80. Things have changed. Prices have gone up. Inflation has affected the prices, and we are kind of locked ourselves into that in that situation. I explained this multiple times, but that's what we did. We basically ran to digital more than physical, and things has gone up in prices. Yes, physical stuff will cost more. Shocking. Who would have thought? We arbitrarily, and I'm not mean it, whatever, but the gaming industry arbitrarily locked the price down to $60 since GameCube up. It should have never been $60. To be honest with you, it should have never been $60 locked down. It was 90s, it was 70s and 80s and 90s and the 90s. Then we went to this spot where we locked it down and we created our own inflation in the gaming market by locking it down. That never works in any other company, in any industry, by keeping the price at a certain spot for that when things could go up. Manufacturing could go up, more graphics, people gotta buy stuff. A lot of stuff has changed. But again, whatever.
Opinion after this perspective, Nintendo is killing this launch, and Nintendo has revealed great games and all.
Do I feel like I need to really continue? Even here, I can't even defend against this guy. This guy right here is kind of like a little annoying.
Awesome performance, and in 7 weeks, they made Cyberpunk run on Switch 2 better than it can run on Steam Deck. Okay.
Well, I will agree, Nintendo is killing the launch, just not in the way that you mean. Also, I'm gonna need a source for your argument that Cyberpunk runs better on the Switch 2 than it does on the Steam Deck, because I watched the Digital Foundry First Impressions video. The game cannot get above 30 FPS, and they themselves said it seems to have last-gen graphics. Not that the Steam Deck runs Cyberpunk incredibly or anything like that, obviously.
What they were trying to say, yes, no, they got it up to 40. I watched the Digital Foundry thing too. It's 40 frames per second. It runs good for what a game is supposed to be doing. That's all they were saying. Nah, I don't like. If you're gonna say this does better than whatever, Nintendo does certain things better than any other gaming company. Creativity, fun in their games. Nintendo seal of approval to most of the games, not all of them. Some, but my point is, those three things are what Nintendo does better than anybody else in the industry, bar none. I'll defend that because that is a true fact. They have the more highly rated games, fun games than any other company in the gaming industry ever. So, yes.
Obviously not. But yeah, you're just pulling that information out of your ass. Like, there's no other way to put it. Also, the Switch 2 running Cyberpunk better than the Steam Deck, if it is even true, that's not exactly a flex. The Steam Deck is on par with, what, like a PS4? A little better because, like, it's technically more modern architecture. I mean, I love my Steam Deck to death, but saying that the Switch is running Cyberpunk better than the Steam Deck, that's not exactly the flex that you think it is.
You can call me crazy, but what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. I'm going to show you some simple math. This is the US inflation calculator, all right? In the year 2020, Demon's Souls was an $86 video game.
Hey there, welcome to Train Station 2. This is the
$86 video game.
No, it was a $70 video game, and it still is. The price has not gone up to $86.30. Demon's Souls should have gone down in price by...
Oh God, Switchforce, you're not using the inflation calculator the right way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Please tell me, I'll let it go a little bit more. If that, I will spare you the 20. I'll jump to the end and whatever, because the way he's gonna go, this is not looking good. Do not use the inflation calculator for the games that were just recently out. Don't. That's kind of not gonna help your argument. Use it for more like the 90s, the 2000s. You get a better perspective because the inflation. The true word of the inflation, money buying power has gotten less and less and less. It goes on. I'm not gonna use last year. I'm not gonna use within 5 years of that, like 2017, whatever. I'm not gonna do that for a game. For for stuff, yeah, but for games, no, bad idea.
Now, I don't know why it hasn't. Also, I seem to remember people complaining a lot about $70 games when they were first introduced. Hell, people still complain about them now. People still...
Not as much as you, not well, maybe in your circles. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. I didn't see, and some people said it, and then they backed down because it was PlayStation and they didn't care. So let Nintendo people get the same way, whatever. And again, the same thing applies to Nintendo and PlayStation. Don't like it, don't buy it. Like I said, when they made the PlayStation, when they made the PlayStation Pro, you think I made an argument for it? No, I didn't make an argument against it either. I was in the middle. I was like, hey, you think it's worth it? Go buy it. One thing I was like is like, wow, you're gonna pay for physical. You try and get this physical thing really out of it. That's what most of my arguments about, the whole physical that you gotta pay for the daggone disc for that higher price. That sucks. Well, that's why I bought it.
Have not fully accepted $70 games. In fact, we saw in 2023 that $70 games have actually led to lower game sales overall. Obviously not low enough to the point where the companies are like, oh, accepted $70.
Hold up.
Also, I seem to remember people complaining a lot about $70 games when they were first introduced. Hell, people still complain about them now. People still have not fully accepted $70 games. In fact, we saw in 2023 that $70 games...
Okay. PS5's price tag for new releases has resulted in fewer games being sold this console generation. New data provided by Sony Activision has suggested even though the software revenue is up for PlayStation, the cost of the game has seemingly contributed to a substantial decrease in sales. I would have to read that article a little bit more. The reason I say that, because of this. Y'all went and spent $190 and $100 on a digital game, and $70 is a problem for most? Huh. And again, I want to know the specifics of this. Is it like physical games, or is it just all games in general? And let's also add something here to this as well too. This is what 2023. Sony don't have a lot of exclusives, so it makes sense to me. By Sony and Activision. Activision, I would not use Activision as a thing because they went through the acquisition and they had less games to put out too. So yeah, that's apples to orange comparison there.
Games have actually led to lower game sales overall. Obviously not low enough to the point where the companies are like, oh crap, we gotta pull the plug and go back to 60. But Mario Kart World could very well be the point where people have had enough and so few people buy it at the $80 price tag that Nintendo has to walk it back. I hope that's the case. I'm not buying it, but we shall see.
Good for you.
I know nobody cares about inflation. I know they say dollars are dollars. They're not.
That part is correct. Your stance is, yeah, no, I care about inflation, and you should be caring about inflation, because inflation doesn't only affect video games, it affects everything.
Inflation is really real. Inflation is factual. Inflation is undeniable. Demon Souls cost $6.30 more than Mario Kart. Should Mario Kart be $70? Sure, I don't know. Whatever. They decided the price. There's tariffs. There's global economy. There's Nintendo.
Yeah, the tariffs doesn't jump into that this sort of price thing again. I know that's what you're gonna hit him with. The tariffs don't affect nothing. Look, that's the price you wanted for it. That's what Nintendo's want to hit it is. That's it. You as a fan should not be jumping up to say, hey, that's what a blah 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 blah. Your argument to that regard is kind of not right, and that's why I said if you're gonna use the inflation, you use the inflation from 20 years ago to show that when we had better buying power, unlike with a fake wizard, when we had better buying power, the games were expensive. We have less buying power now, and they're back to being expensive. Shocker.
Whatever reason you want to believe. I don't even care anymore.
Okay, immediately your argument is falling apart. I mean, it was the second video started. But right here especially, Demon Souls does not cost $6.30 more than Mario Kart. Because today, in 2025 money, Demon Souls still costs $70. Comparing the $70 in 2020 to the $80 now, yes, $70.
See, that's what I said. So Demon Souls, when Thomas coming in 2020, I would not use it for that argument. That's what I'm saying.
was worth more than. It had more buying power, but that's irrelevant to the conversation. I don't care about what a 5-year-old game used to cost when it came out, and then the inflated value of that money compared to modern money. I care how much is the game right now, and Demon's Souls does not cost $86.30. It costs $70. Also, just because
it's on this, the reason I'm saying that because it's on the same generation. That's where his argument fell through. That's why I said go back 2 generations, you can make your argument more better, as you said, my boy. But because it's on the same generations, people are not gonna see it that way, and also you could get it for cheaper because it's like I said. Yeah, I could buy Breath of the Wild for well, it'll be $70 or $50. It came out in 2017. So I think that's where you messed up on with that, how they use the inflation calculator. That's what you messed up on.
inflation says that $70 in 2020 is equivalent to $86.30 today, that does not mean a $70 product should cost $86.30 today. Because, and this is the problem with the inflation argument, is when you look at it just like this, you're looking at inflation in a vacuum. But I'm not going to get too deep into that right now. I want to let the video play a bit more.
I'm instead going to look straight at this. Demon's Souls was $86.30, okay? They charged, their budget game was Miles Morales. Do you know how much Miles Morales was? Miles Morales was a $60 game. All right?
Yeah, okay, bro. It's, yeah. Switch Force, you kind of messed this up. Yeah, good grief. You gonna keep on digging yourself a grave in this one. Yeah, well, there you go. Some people can't carry a good argument most of the times. Failed school systems. That's all I could say.
Right? That was a $60 game. Do you know how much the PlayStation 5 was? The PlayStation 5 was $500. In 2025?
It don't work. You use the inflation calculator. What you're saying legitimately is correct. But to use it in the argument where it is, I would not use it in the same generation. That's what I was gonna. That's the part. Because you buy the same product for the same price in the same cycle of years. That's not a smart thing to do. If you say GameCube, I get it. If you say 64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, that makes sense if you use, if that's going to be the only basis of your argument. The inflation is a part of the argument, not all of it. Not all of it. I've said that before, not all of it. Things were different also in those times back then than now. And I detail those in my videos before. Production of stuff was different. How we put stuff together was different. The studios was different. A lot of stuff is different. Technology was cutting edge at the time, but it's cutting edge now, and it's hard to keep a cutting edge as we've seen with all the damn Xbox and all the other consoles.
It's a $616 system. You know how much the Switch cost in 2025? $450. So it's a remake.
Oh, good grief!
It was $702. Now somebody.
Do not. Yeah. I don't think I have the strength to do this. I don't. This might be a random video put up. I don't think I have the strength to do this because even I can be like, you should not do this. Your argument is not the way you think it's gonna be.
In the audience, tell me.
Okay. Yeah. Switch 4. Sorry. Let me see. What? Anything down at the bottom at the end? Let me see here.
Jesus Christ, he cannot be serious when he says, can you get a better FPS experience than Metroid Prime 4 at 120 FPS with Nintendo Switch mouse controls? The answer is yes. Literally.
The answer is not really literally. I know you're gonna say because it's PC. With mouse control, and you said with the mouse control, sir. So you added that caveat that makes it tougher to even make it tougher to say it. Metroid is yeah, that's a tough one. The mouse control. I ain't gonna say nothing because unless I play the game myself, I'm not gonna say nothing. There is something different with the mouse control that can be done. Maybe that can be done. That's not the PC could do. But I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna argue it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me wait and see. I have to experience it myself before I say anything. So I'll leave that alone since he said that. Dude, no. Can you have a better game? Can you have a game that's just as good as Metroid? Yeah. Can you have a game can we know the creativity of Metroid? There are games out there that have it, but they don't have that. It's just like Mario. They have games that are more creative than Mario. They're more games better than Donkey Kong. There are a lot of games out there that has that there, but to have that Nintendo polish, the way things work, the je ne sais quoi of how Nintendo puts some of these games together, that's the difference. Hollow Knight's a good game. It's a Metroid game. Without Metroid, we would have never had games like Hollow Knight. But it's for what it is. Illusion Dust is the same thing. I love that game. And I like the way it's fighting and everything. But Metroid still is better than those games to me. Because of what I saw in Metroid. But, again,
playing any first-person shooter on PC with a keyboard and mouse would be better. Dude's trying to act like Nintendo's literally putting out, like, the best features known to man. Cool, they made a new Mario Kart. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take issue with the price when it's too much. If my parents buy me a new gaming chair for Christmas, but I have to get kicked in the balls to receive it, I'm not going to be happy about it. Wild analogy, I know, but it works.
Yeah, we'll address the news, but this whole thing about Nintendo overcharging and botching the launch and botching the reveal is dollars, and in reality they're $60.
Okay, yes, the $90 physical stuff was misinformation, but saying they're overcharging when everybody else is charging $10 or $20 less is not misinformation. That's just true.
Get mad at the wages aren't more. That's really the thing to get mad at. But
now I can't switch force. Wages are not more. No, and no. I think I'm done at that right there. You can cry all you want, but again, that's not how economy works. I swear, I wish people wish economy. No, now wages not more. Okay, go to your boss and say, hey, pay me more money, and he will say, hey, go get a different job. Because there's a lot more costs in it. If you want to get a better job, you should be going to the government and saying, hey, how about we stop the daggone payroll tax? And you get more money. Because a lot of people don't even know what the payroll tax is when you work in America. And I don't, every other country is different. And when you find that out, you'll understand that you cost twice as much to your boss than he's supposed to. Because the government wants to get their damn greedy hands and everything. I don't care about which party. I don't like the payroll tax. Just to be in that. My boss has to pay enough money, double the money to have me. Even though I make a lot of money for the company. But I wish that money could go towards me than into the friggin' government. Because the government, as we know, with Doge and everything, wastes our money.
Sick of the Nintendo slander. Don't hate Nintendo.
Make this up and calling this an A+ launch when you yourself
Okay, I'll let he go and call it.
admitted you don't want prices to go up either. Like, how are you gonna call this A+? Oh, I know, because your name is literally Switchforce. What else would I expect? And again, I'll get mad at wages not going up and Nintendo. I can do both. I'm a man of many talents. Just ask your mom. But yeah.
And this is why I don't like to chat with anybody online unless people I know. You prove my point through. Just ask your mom. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I swear to God, human beings are my least favorite creature on this planet.
Anyway, with all that being said, that's all I got for this video, guys.
Okay, yeah, that's all I got to it as well too. Sorry for wasting your time. Switch forces. Your argument was stupid. No ifs, ands about it. That you use the inflation calculator the wrong way. Jeez. Oh my God. Yeah, people just. It goes back to my saying, people are stupid. Individuals smart. Be a smart individual. But yeah. All right. Sorry for wasting your time once again, guys. Another video. I thought it was gonna be something juicy or whatever. I mean, the fake wizard is more fun than these videos by these random people. It's just, y'all got no class, couth, nothing. And the arguments are just stupid. I could see why a lot of people just don't watch a lot of YouTubers, gamers channels that much. Jeez. Anyway, enjoy the games at all costs. There's no perfect games out there. Perfect is not perfect to me. Perfect to me is not perfect. You simply enjoy games on all costs, including PC. Peace out.